For this interview integration paper, I decided to choose my 3 topics based on what I originally wanted to improve upon in this class, which was to become a better listener in my personal life and in a workplace setting. So after looking through the topics, I decided to focus on collaborative leadership, active listening, barriers to communication, and difficult conversations. So I interviewed someone who fit both of the fields I'm considering to enter, which are biomedical engineering and computer engineering. His name is Matt Muehlhausen, and he is a software engineer at a biomedical company called Cook Medical. Asking Matt about collaborative leadership really expanded my viewpoint on how I thought companies were run. Before the interview, I thought that companies were mainly run as a hierarchy, but he proved my assumption wrong, at least in this field. When Cook Medical was starting up as a company, he was one of the 8 primary members of the company, so they all had equal power, responsibility, and influence over any project that came to the table. The person who specialized in the project topic would take informal lead of the project, but everyone carried their own weight. As the company grew, I was surprised to hear that the structure remained rather intact, with only slight management changes that were necessary to run a coherent company. Although there were project leaders, everyone still had a say and a contribution to what the vision for the project was going to look like, which was a classic example of the collaborative leadership that we've been learning in class. After hearing this, I became more aware that collaborative leadership is actually used in the workplace, and that I'll have to strengthen my group skills to be successful in this field. As it turns out, his whole job is centered on active listening. Ideas are constantly being thrown out in order to find the best solution to a presented problem during a professional meeting, so he's had to adapt over the years to remain quiet and really process what people are saying before he can speak. This is necessary for his field because the only way a project is going to work is if mostly everyone agrees that a certain idea is the most workable and it fixes the problem in the best way. So, what I took away from this is that silence is truly golden. Staying quiet and contemplative allows for the best questions to arise for the best result possible. So possibly the most repeated statement in regards to fixing communication issues in difficult situations was to be open, honest, and empathetic. He described how in his group, if someone was out of line or was pushing their agenda too far, that person would be directly addressed before the problem got too out of hand. Also, if anyone was being affected by personal issues, someone would lend an empathetic ear to them. Doing this would reduce the tension caused by repressed issues, and it further builds trust between team members. However, the clearest message was the hardest one for me to want to implement. One of my growth areas is definitely being more upfront and direct about the issues that are bothering me, so I'm going to have to work on being a little bit more blatantly honest in my communication to prevent any tensions from arising. This interview really challenged my perspectives on how the workplace operated, and it showed me that a collaborative system is possible even with a bigger company. It also told me what traits I needed to start strengthening in order to become a better communicator and thus a better asset to the company within my field.